Grab your drink, have a smile. I don't know what's in this cup. All I know is that this is Pregaming, and that is a wonderful degenerate Kevin Klein. I'm Serena Morales. Good morning.
Good morning. Just reading a book to work on our relationship, Serena. Hold on one second. All right, we're good.
That book has never been
How
used.
goes it? Cuppers and cappers, little prop comedy to kick off your Sunday. Week 14 NFL action. Some teams don't have a shot. Their season is cooked. Other teams battling for playoff potentials. And as a result, all of the lines are shifting. It's wild. We'll get into it in just a bit. Massive spread changes, even since I went to bed last night. And that was I had a long night last night. Look at this, huh? I didn't use that fancy roller on my face like Kenny Betts Big does. I am looking disheveled this morning. But good news for you. We're going to pick some winners. We're going to hang out. We're going to have some fun. We got a primetime punishment to pay off live. And as always, we'll take your questions throughout the show. Drop them in the comments below. We will answer them by the end with some of the finest cappers that we were able to afford on a very shoestring budget.
Absolutely. And speaking of shoestrings, you can get those and you can get an NFL jersey of your choice by guessing the final score for the Bears-Packers game on Sunday Night Football. The closest answer in the comments will win. We're here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Again, we're giving you the best gambling experts who actually gamble and give you good betting advice. You're not necessarily hearing it from myself and or a degenerate, although I think we're helpful. Kevin and I, we're trying to build our bet slip with you guys. So we're going to get our picks based on what Kenny Bets Big and Danny Brasco give us. So with that, Kevin, let's get into it.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and start this 2-minute drill by letting you know I've already put in my prediction for what that score will be tonight. I've got Green Bay 1,000, the Bears 0. That's my prediction. I don't know if that's going to win me the jersey. We hope you go ahead and predict in the comments and you get yourself the sweet merch that we hook you up with from time to time. And as you know, I've been known to scratch off lottery tickets during this show before when I don't feel strong about my gambling picks. But that is not the case because today's theme is very explicit. It's not family friendly. It is spread eagle. These spreads are wide open today. I mean, I'm looking at spreads to the tune of 9.5, 8.5, 12, 11.5. I mean, massive spreads in these NFL games. And sure, some of them are teams that we can't count on, like the Jaguars that I think are an 8.5 point underdog, or the Texans 9.5 point underdog. But then you've got other teams like the Raiders. I know they're battling the Chiefs, who are looking good as of late. But, I mean, that's like a 9.5, 10-point spread in that one. Very questionable. Chicago, the team we just chatted about a moment ago, tonight's game, 12-point dogs battling Aaron Rodgers. Detroit, your favorite, Serena, 11.5-point dogs. I mean, there's a lot of action that can be had if you like playing with these giant numbers. And there are teams like Detroit that are playing better than they used to play. They've actually been covering quite a bit lately. So look for big spreads today. Spread eagle. Serena, demonstrate, please.
It's funny. We talk about spread eagle, and I'm about to talk about the game of beautiful quarterbacks. The Niners are heading to Cincinnati to play the Bengals, and I worry about the defensive line for these two teams. How could you sack a football player with such good looks? And it makes sense. Jimmy Garoppolo has only been sacked 19 times this season. That's the lowest in the NFL. No credit to the offensive line. I think it's just his looks there. In all seriousness, the ugliest part of either of these two players is the way that they've actually been playing. Poor Joe Burrow has been on a slump. He's thrown 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions his last 4 games. He's been sacked 6 times. Maybe he needs some toner, some eye cream in the morning. Maybe that helps. We should talk to Kenny about one of those eye rollers. But beautiful quarterback matchup for today.
Yeah,
Kevin.
It's not fair. It's not fair. There's so much natural ability in the quarterback position and also good looking. I'm convinced we should only let people play in the NFL if they're a 6 or below in the looks category. Makes them want it a little bit more. There's too many good looking guys out there. It bothers me. It's like they were born with all the perks. It's not fair. Look at this guy here. I can't throw a football and look at my face. What did I get? Nothing, huh? Unfair.
You're right.
Unbelievable.
And they're wearing helmets, so it's like a waste of good looks, to be quite honest, right?
Right. Thanks.
Get that.
Thank you.
Thanks
I
for
really
that,
covered
Phil.
that.
I'll take it.
Use the most of our 2 minutes right there. There are some things that we must talk about that are happening in the NFL. The big buzzy words that you're going to be waking up to this morning as you try to figure out exactly where you want to start placing your bets, and we will help you with that over the next 45 minutes we spend together. Serena, where do we begin in this rapid fire?
Rapid fire. Aaron Rodgers is going to play the Chicago Bears once again this season, a team that Aaron Rodgers actually owns. How many touchdowns does he need to throw in order to continue this ownership and his toe?
Oh, man, look at that thing. That is a beautiful foot right there. That foot could beat the Bears, just foot alone. I think you could detach it from the body, still get the win. I think based on the trash talking that has happened last time and the way that us, part of the media, are building it up, it's got to be a 4 touchdown or more performance for him to be able to continue to claim he owns Chicago. Anything less than that, I mean, I think even if they win by the 12 that they're expected to win by, and it's Rodgers only throwing for 2, I think that somehow Chicago is going to spin that into a win for Chicago.
Yeah. I think Mason Crosby could use a better foot, maybe swap with Aaron Rodgers' toe because he's not doing well this season, helping with those extra points. Next question. The Patriots are on a bye this week. How does Bill Belichick spend his free time?
Oh, man. Well, he's not doing laundry on that dirty sweatshirt for sure. That's clearly, it's weird because Tom Brady looks strange in that picture we just saw. That's a strange shot of Tom Brady right there. But I agree. That is probably, I would imagine he's going to spend a lot of time working on his this face.
He practices that, right?
Yeah, he practices that a lot. Yeah, he's he could be reading this book, which I highly recommend. Maybe that's what he's doing. Could be that.
He's trying to get back with Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's probably that. I have a feeling. Maybe he's going for the local massage parlor circuit with the owner of his team, Kraft. Maybe they're heading around. I don't know. Downtime. He can do whatever he wants.
Man. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert was slimed this week for being named Nickelodeon's MVP. What player or coach would you like to see slimed? Just because.
Well, we just talked about Kraft, so I'll go ahead and not mention him again because he's technically an owner and he's been slimed before. I would say, oh, come on, that's Cup worthy. Thank you, Cup. I think that the player that I would most like to see sliming in the world of Nickelodeon, that's considered a good thing. That's like an honor. That's almost the equivalent of the Gatorade dunk once you win the Super Bowl. So I would like to see an actual bad player get slimed for underperforming on every possible level on both sides of the ball. And I would say you could pretty much take your pick. Anyone in Jacksonville, slime the hell out of that entire organization. You could slime most of the Texans. I mean, there's a lot of people to be slimed. I would grab retired players, grab old players that never lived up to their potential, and slime some of them as well while we're at it. That's
a great idea. Yeah, watch out, Urban Meyer. You're gonna get slimed.
We could
twice
be getting
maybe
slimed during the primetime punishment later in the show today. Who knows? I got this mystery package here. I don't know what's in this thing. This could be. I got to open this later live on the show. I don't know what it is.
Dr. Dre, halftime performer for this year's Super Bowl, just got divorced. And that beautiful post. Look at that. Look at balloons. Divorced as F. I won't curse.
That's pure joy right there.
Team should his ex-wife buy? Broncos actually might be up for sale, Kevin. So just curious. You can pull that book back up if you wanted. Kind of works.
Well, it's too late for him on the book. The saddest part is he's going to have to give half of those balloons away in the next 24 hours. That's the worst part about it. He doesn't get to keep all those. I think that the Broncos. That's obviously the buzzy thing we've all been seeing. All of the people saying they're going to buy them. You got Gary V out there running his mouth saying he's going to buy the Jets. He wants to buy the Jets. I think his ex-wife will own a team. It's going to be whatever team he most likes. So I think he was a Raiders fan for a while, so I would have to assume that she will make every effort to buy the Raiders from the man with the world's worst haircut.
This is a Ted Lasso situation.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. And then run that team into the ground, which, they've been doing a decent job of that themselves. So
I love it. How many gifts will Urban Meyer get for Christmas this year, Kevin?
coal, lots and lots of coal from all of his coaches, his players. He's always looking for us a W, but he is getting lots and lots of L's, and that's the right position for him to be in when it comes down to his contract renewal. I would say, in fact, we'll get into this a little bit later with your totally exclusive prop that you only get right here, but we have the actual gambling lines on what his job will be next season, and I'm going to tell you right now, head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars is a plus 20,000, minus 20,000. It's not looking good. I'll put it that way. We'll get into that a little bit later on when we get to the prop bets.
All right. Love that. All right. Wrapped up our rapid fire. Again, if you're watching, thank you. This is Pregaming. We're here at 11 a.m. Eastern every Sunday morning before the slate of Sunday's games. We want you to win something cool, a jersey of your choice. So guess the final score for the Bears-Packers on Sunday Night Football. Closest to that score, you'll get a free jersey. So leave that in the comments. Leave your questions because we're here for the next X amount of minutes, maybe hours, maybe days. We're not sure, but at some point they'll cut off the internet. So and they'll save you from us, right?
Yeah, you can only pray for that. That's what a lot of people are hoping for the holidays. That's why we're huge with the Amish community because they haven't seen 1 minute of this show. It's awesome. They love us.
And also everyone for watching. Thank you. Again, sending your questions, but also head over to thegameday.com to get the latest gambling analysis and sportsbook specials. We got a bunch to give away. So again, Kevin and I are looking to fill out our smart bets, and we've got 2 great cappers to help us make those decisions, and we're going to bring them on. Danny and Kenny, welcome to another Sunday Power Hour. We got our cappers here. We never know where Kenny is, and thank goodness we've got extra backgroundage from Danny here.
Welcome, gentlemen. Look at that. That's what we call set deck in the biz.
Kenny, where
Happy
are you
Sunday,
today?
guys. Where's Kenny?
I'm at the racetrack, so once we hop off here, gonna fire on some bets. Feeling pretty good today, so hopefully we make some money.
Okay.
How come it says degenerate next to my name when this guy's at an effing racetrack on a Sunday morning? I mean, Jesus Christ. Can we move that degenerate word to his box? Holy, I get put in. I'm the cupper that loses money, and Kenny's over there, banned from Instagram, banned from Buffalo Wild Wings, sitting at a racetrack right now. What?
That's right. That's how
still
it
banned from Instagram, unfortunately. The lizards, they got to give me it back.
Well, because you're banned on Instagram, but you're still allowed here, let's kick things off, Kenny, and your first game for today. I like that they changed it to
first we're going to start with Baltimore and at the Cleveland Browns. This line is pretty surprising. You have the Ravens, they're plus 2.5, plus 3 underdogs, depending where you look. I love that line for Baltimore. These two teams faced off 2 weeks ago in Baltimore, where the Ravens won by 6. Unfortunately for Kevin and I, because now we're forced to open whatever the fuck's in this thing. But yeah, Lamar Jackson played one of the worst games of his career, through 4 picks in that game, and the Ravens still found a way to eke out a win there. And what that tells me is that the Ravens ultimately are just a better team. A lot of people are looking at the angle that the Cleveland Browns are coming off their bye week, so they have extra rest, a little more time to prepare. The Ravens this year are 3-0 against the spread when facing teams who have a rest advantage against them. And when they're underdogs, John Harbaugh just fires his team up, and they seem to get it done. They're 2-0 against the spread this year as an underdog. So I like the Ravens in this spot today for sure.
I hope that when you open this package with me a little bit later on, the racetrack is going to be the latest thing you get thrown out of for the next 6 months, because I don't know what's in here either. But I think it's funny that I'm going to be sitting in the comforts of my own at-home studio, which is just a makeshift walk-in closet, and Kenny will be in public at the racetrack right now with all the other degens this morning. It's an interesting one. As a sucker, I'll let you know, Kenny, I like your analysis on that, because I look at this line and I go, how can the Browns be a favorite in anything, especially as we talk to players, and coming off of bye weeks, not usually great for players. They're creatures of habit. And so once you have that bye week, even though, yes, you have more time to prepare, sometimes that's too much time and it takes you off your rhythm, out of your rhythm a little bit. So I was surprised when I first looked at that. I would think Baltimore is a much better team, but these guys always seem to play each other close. If it's at 3.5, is it worth buying to 3?
Well, so if you get the Ravens, yeah, I'm going to buy the Ravens up to 3.5. So like the line's sitting at +3 at some books. I'm definitely going to buy the hook up to 3.5. Just in case they do lose by a field goal, you still cash that bet. But I honestly, I feel pretty good about the Ravens on the money line as well. I think they're like +130, 140, depending where you look. I think the Ravens line, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them win this one outright.
All right. Well, this is another interesting game. Danny, we're going to get you in the mix. Buffalo, who's 4-0 after a loss this year, is going to face Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. This is a game where the Bucs can clinch a playoff berth. And each of you has a different take on this game. So, Danny, with your boxing gloves on, take it away.
Yeah, Kenny and I somehow seem to want to go match up against each other in these key games. But this is an interesting one here, Bucs Bills, and I'm actually surprised we'll hear Kenny's take. But I know he's been someone that's saying the Bills have been an overrated team led by Josh Allen all year, and I'm starting to believe it as of now. Serena, you set it up perfectly. You're talking about they're 4-0 after a loss, but they're 3-4 in their last 7 games, and you take a look at the wins. They're over the Jets, the Dolphins, and the quarterbackless Saints. They're 7-5, and it kind of feels like they're lucky to be 7-5 at this point. A key thing that we've seen on defense is that they just can't stop the run. Even when New England called them, sent them a text message and let them know, hey, we're about to run the ball, still couldn't do it. And now they're out key nose tackle Star Lotulelei, who is going to be a run stopper for them. I think Leonard Fournette and the Bucs run offense can do the same thing that the Patriots did, which only opens up the air raid offense that's number 1 at home and number 1 in the NFL for the Bucs. As good as the Bucs offense, the Bills offense is, and liable the Bucs secondary might be, I just don't think the Bills will be able to stop this Bucs team at home. So in a game that probably should be a shootout, I think the Bucs will just score more. And I like the Bucs -3. I'm going to buy that half point. A little sketchy there, just a little security. I'm taking Tom Brady and the Bucs -3.
There's no bigger Tom Brady fanboy in the world than Kenny. I mean, Kenny, you're the number 1 president of the Tom Brady fanboy club. It's you and Bill Belichick, president, co-president. How do you feel? How do you feel hearing your boy Danny talk like this?
I mean, it's not surprising. I think everyone is on the Bucs today. The Bills coming off a terrible loss on Monday Night Football to my Patriots, where unfortunately I wasn't able to be on the Instagram Live, but I would have told everyone to hammer the Patriots in that game. The Bills, if you look at their losses this year, sorry, we got some degenerates at the track getting lit right now.
Yeah, we're looking at one of them. We know.
If you look at the Bills' losses this year, they've lost to the Titans, they've lost to the Colts, they've lost to the Patriots, right? 3 out of their 5 losses have been to teams that are very, very good at running the football. The Bills can't stop the run to save their life. Danny just talked, they're without a key nose tackle today, but the Bucs pass the ball 68% of the time. So I don't see them, really altering the game plan a ton and just turning around, handing the ball to Lenny Fournette the whole game. So for that, I think the Bills secondary will make some key stops in this game. And I think they'll be able to keep themselves in the game. And this is like a must-win game for the Bills. They lose this game, they have a very good chance of missing the playoffs altogether if they lose this game. So for that, I think we're going to see a very good team. Like I know I've been ripping the Bills every week, and I've been talking trash on Josh Allen, but at the end of the day, the guy is a stud, and the Bills have a ton of talent on their team. So I think the 3.5 line, the whole world is on the Bucs here. I think this is a perfect spot to take the Bills. It's one of my favorite bets on the week for sure.
Wow.
It's wild to hear you say that, Kenny, because, as I said, you found reasons why we should support all things Tom Brady pretty much no matter what. And you, of course, you're a Patriots fan at your core, but obviously Brady, as a result of that, like many people, it's difficult for them to look around, especially with a team like Buffalo that when they're playing great, looks like maybe they're the best team in the league. But yet they've had so many weeks where they've looked awful. And it's like I feel like still don't know which Buffalo team you're going to get. We are the least professional, most profitable pregame show. We proved that to you by having one of our experts sitting at a racetrack randomly right now as we get ready to give you the picks for the rest of the day. I just flipped around to see all the other pregame action. Not one of them has someone sitting at a racetrack right now. We're the only one. So welcome to this, everyone.
Legitimate and drinking.
Hey, I'm going to give you one more Brady angle before we leave the subject. is that, hey, who just beat the Bills last week? Bill Belichick. You don't think Tom Brady, somewhere in that competitive spirit of his, wants to go outdo him and one-up him one more time? I think Brady's looking for a win here to say that he did it too.
But that's the interesting part, Danny. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say to the same side, you could say maybe Brady wants the Bills to win this game to make the playoff race a little tighter for the Patriots. But I think based on you can never really get caught up in those narratives too much because you'll drive yourself crazy and you'll lose a lot of money. But what you can do is look at the lines, see where the public is, fade the money, and just take advantageous and plus value. I think the Bills are here. I think a lot of people are looking at a team that's 7-5 on paper, but they could easily be 8-4, 9-3. And had they won a few of those tighter games, this line would never be plus 3.5. So I think this is just like a big overreaction to what we saw last week, where people are forgetting there was 40+ mile per hour wind gusts in that game. You can throw a lot of things from this Monday night game out the window because there are so many variables that are never going to really be in every football game. So
the Bills have only allowed 8 passing touchdowns this season. That's insane. And you're going to go against Tom Brady, who leads the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Like, what a wonderful little matchup to have on display for us. And I'm with Kenny on this one. I think the Bills have the edge.
I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. We're going to have to pull out that book
you guys
over
followed
there.
me last week. You both would have made some decent money, right? 2-0 last week. Both big underdogs too with the upset. So feeling pretty good going into this week. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, toot your horn on Instagram for where the world is.
Hey, Kenny, while you've been missing on Instagram, I cashed the Patriots on Monday night, and I cashed the Vikings Thursday night. So don't worry, I'm putting in the work while we're waiting for you on IG.
Good to see you guys holding it down without me.
Meanwhile, Kenny's crushing it, right? Kenny's crushing it on Friendster right now. His Friendster account is the best it's been in a while.
Because MySpace is off the chain right now.
Danny, let's get to this really fun game. We've got that Mike Glennon and his long neck. The Giants, who are not the greatest at football. This spread looks a little steep to me against the Chargers. What are you thinking? Do your best, Mike Glennon.
He looks like an ostrich. He looks like, this is Mike Glennon. I can't achieve that. Such a upright. In any case, yes, Mike Glennon is starting for my New York Giants today. And believe it or not, once again, I'm on an over. I'm going to cash the over on the Thursday night game. Everyone do your best, Mike Glennon. But, this number is set so low, 43, right? Like, of course, Mike Glennon, on news that Daniel Jones is not going to be playing, the total dropped from 47 to 43. But what I found really interesting was the market slammed the over when it went to 43. Huge bets came in. And now a lot of the money is actually on the over. I just think that this number is too low in a Chargers game. They have one of the better passing offenses in the league. The Giants' defense is decent, but it doesn't really stop the run very well, and Austin Eckler can chew up yards. And I think Herbert is going to be able to score on this Giants defense and put up a pretty decent number themselves. So really, to cash this over, we just need the Giants to do their part. And the Chargers have proved they can't stop the run against anybody. So I actually feel like even with Mike Glennon, this could be a day where Saquon Barkley finds the end zone. And he's got a game under his belt, so maybe he's a little more familiar with the offense. I think the Giants can do their part to score enough. And with Justin Herbert on the other side, come on, with a bad Chargers defense, 43 is too low for a game that they're playing in. So give me the over in this one.
Kevin, did you take some notes there?
I think I pulled my neck trying to do my impression of the quarterback. Well, not a good move for me right there. It's too bad. Last time I did that, I was trying to fillet myself. So it's been a while.
Kevin, would you like to stick your neck out and maybe talk about your game now?
Yeah, of course. I think to me, this is like where you fade the public in the biggest way possible. And that is a game. Listen, we all know we grew up watching movies. It was always the Cowboys versus the football teams, right? And that's what we have for you today. The Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys. The game is in D.C. The spread has moved like wild. I mean, even last night, I think it was like Cowboys favored by 4. Now it's moved up to 6.5. Washington is, as far as I'm concerned, over the past few weeks is looking as good as any team has looked. Heineke, I think, is one of the strongest, most impressive quarterbacks in the league. I love that guy. Ron Rivera is making some great calls. It's a team that's getting together. This is that point in the season where teams fall apart or teams come together, and they are congealing like some nice leftovers right now. And I feel that this, to me, a game, not that, and look, I think the line is where the line is for a few reasons. Obviously, the public loves what they're seeing out of the Cowboys. They think Dak's great. You look historically at this team, I think he's 7-1 against Washington since he's been a starter. But different teams, different years, and that's not taking into account this game is at FedEx Field. It's a home game for Washington. And listen, I know Washington's secondary is not great, bottom 5 in the league. They've got a strong run defense, but offensively, and this is what is an interesting thing to think about, they are over 50% on third down conversions, which is a huge number, and it makes me think that they will have no trouble moving the ball against Dallas. So this game boils down to, do you have more faith in Heineke or do you have more faith in Dak? And obviously the public loves Dak. He's sexier. It's America's team. I feel like there's always an extra point or two given to every Dallas game regardless. And I think that when you break all that down, this could be a very close game. If it's close, I love Washington on the spread. And even if it's not that close, I could see Washington. I mean, that's a sweet. I'm going to put a little bit on the money line. Washington to win the game at home. There are, I think, teams at this point in the season, Dallas can clinch the NFC East with a win tonight. That is true. They got a 2-game lead on Washington at this point in the season. However, Washington getting a win in this game would be massive for their postseason implications. And so I want to say this loudly with multiple microphones so you guys hear me. Put your money on Washington.
Wow. Wow.
Spoken like a true homer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the team. Of course, that's my team
Kevin,
as well. So there you go.
Gambling market is supporting you. When the spread went all the way up to 6.5, even 7 now in some books, sharp action came in pretty hard when Washington's getting all these points now. So you might be on the right side.
I mean, I'm listening to what you guys said. I try to ignore everything Kenny has said over the course of the season, but I can't. And when he says the spreads get to a certain point, I understand. We talked about big spreads earlier in this show today. We talked about these 9.5, 10.5. This Washington-Dallas one, to me, doesn't fit the formula of these big spread games, and we're almost at a touchdown spread. A home game, home dog with postseason implications, a dangerous home dog. I'm just letting you know. And as we've seen more than a few times this season, even though Dallas is technically full healthy now, full strength, beatable team. And so I'm just letting you know that don't sleep on this. This is going to be my big drop today. And I don't bet on Washington because they're the team I love with my heart, but I will be betting on them today.
I like it.
I don't hate it. I think it's a great spot for Washington to get the dub.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Mike McCarthy angle too, promising that the Cowboys are going to get a win today. When you do that, you're pretty much going to lose, and/or it'll be a closer one than we expect. Like, you don't say that out loud. You say that in
Come on, Mike. Yeah. Under promise, over deliver, Mike.
Correct. That's how we do things.
That's this show's tagline, huh? No, hold on. No, we overpromise, underdeliver. We're the opposite of that. Sorry, we're the opposite.
Oh, man.
And I've never
Speaking of under-delivering, I'd like to get to the most not exciting game, but an interesting one. The Lions, they're going to fly to Denver to play the Broncos. Now, the Lions are coming off of their first win this season against a decent Vikings team. However, the Broncos, with the sudden and tragic passing of Demaryius Thomas, it's fair to think that the Broncos might be playing with a little more purpose and emotion. 10 players on the current roster were teammates with DT, including star safety Justin Simmons, who said this was a must-win game even before DT's passing. And I noticed that the line actually shifted after DT's passing because, yes, we've seen like the Raiders this season when a team, has some sort of traumatic situation around it, they play better during tougher times. But I'm not here to say that the Broncos don't win this game. I'm just here to say that the Lions are at 11.5. That's a massive margin to put them at. And I feel at this point, it's like blatant disrespect to Dan Campbell and this team. Jared Goff threw an 11-yard touchdown to St. Brown. no time remaining in the fourth quarter last week. To me, that shows that they can play under pressure. The Lions, they will be missing running back DeAndre Swift, which I think is key, but I have a lot of faith in this Lions team to stick in this game. The Lions have actually covered the spread well this year. They're 8-4 overall. They're 4-2 in the road. And I understand that betting on Denver will be way more popular after a tragedy, but that stat tells me that even though the Lions are one of the worst teams in the NFL talent-wise, they've consistently exceeded the public's expectations. They've stayed competitive in a lot of games. I also think this is a game that Jared Goff connects with Josh Reynolds. They make some noise. They've played with each other for the Rams for the past 3 seasons. They've connected a few times on the field since Josh Reynolds was picked up by the Titans mid-season. So I do think that this game will be a lot closer than that 11.5 point spread shows.
Serena, it's interesting. It's an interesting take, the tragedy angle, but let's keep in mind that Detroit coming off of their first win of the season, that was potentially brought on by a tragedy that happened in Michigan as well. So now you have 2 teams using tragedy that has hit them close to home to fuel whatever it is that they have. They dedicated that win, obviously, to the victims of the school shooting that happened in Michigan. So if you're going to go with the tragedy hook here, I think that you arguably have both teams that have that as fuel behind them, and obviously more recent in Denver. But it's an interesting angle to look at that. And I'm sure if anyone has looked at the numbers and crunched what happens, I know Kenny was very clear. He knows all the stats when it comes down to coaches getting fired mid-season and how teams rebound from that. When teams come off of tragedy, be it in their cities, natural disasters, former players that get lost, is there historically the bounce back win? And even if there is, I don't think they're necessarily taking the line into effect. If they win this game by 4 points, they're going to still dedicate it to their fallen teammate. However, if you're betting on Detroit, like Serena so eloquently put it, you're going to be thrilled about them covering that spread.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any statistics or anything to back it up like I did with the coaches. With the coaches, it's a little easier to kind of pinpoint and, determine when they were fired and how the teams performed the following week. But you make a good point. It just gets them emotionally fired up. They're more alert, more prepared. And it happens all the time. Like yesterday in college basketball, for example, Georgetown, they renamed their court after John Thompson, their best coach ever, who died the previous year. They were down at the half, 10 points. They come back, storm back, win the game outright. So, yeah, it happens all the time in sports. It makes for a good story, good storyline. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Broncos come out and, put a beat down on the Lions, especially after the Lions coming off of their lone win on the season. So I think this is a good letdown spot for the Lions today.
Why you got to do me dirty on that Syracuse? Why you got to bring up that Syracuse loss yesterday? I was so happy right now. You got to take me down, man. Not good.
But even so, 11.5 points. The Broncos have proved their defense is legit. Patrick Surtain, but getting 11.5 for them, it feels like a bit much. And Detroit, they're 1-10-1 on the season, but Serena pointed out 8-4 against the spread. Kind of a sharp team to bet on. Small market team that's not winning any games and is the laughing stock of the league. I know Serena has some sort of love affair with the Lions. You can't stay away from them, but. They've been a profitable team. So 11.5 points. I don't know if the Broncos deserve to be favored by that many against anybody. So I get your logic, Serena. I'm not mad at the 11.5.
Well, let's look at our bet slips, shall we? Kevin and we're going against each other here. So I am going with the Lonely Lions. I'm also going to go with you, Danny, with the over for the Giants Chargers game, and then I'm gonna ride with Kenny with the Bills. Kevin, what are you thinking?
Well, I like what you said about Detroit, but I've already filled out my bet slip, so I cannot put that on there. I will take my Washington football team at plus 6.5, could be as high as 7 by kickoff. Like the way that's moving, gave you my reasons why. Going against Kenny only because he is currently in the lobby of a racetrack right now, and I feel like if I know anything, it's go against the guy in the lobby of a racetrack. So I'm going to take the Bucks at 3. I like the theory to buy that half a point, get the hook back in your favor. Like that as well. That is a little tip right there from Danny. And I will be going with Kenny on his take on the Ravens, however. So Ravens underdog by a field goal against the Browns. Really? Come on, guys. So I like what Kenny has to say. Part of what he says But once again, I have to take asterisks. He is currently at a racetrack on Sunday morning.
It's
Always bet on
okay.
grays, right? That's the rule. Gray horses just run faster.
You
He's
keep
at the-
bringing
he's
that
at
up.
the
I want to
glue
point out,
factory.
Kevin. I want to point out that I'm banned from a racetrack in New Jersey already for winning. So let me just point that out. All
I
right.
believe that. I believe that. I heard it was because
Those
of
are
an
some-
inappropriate relationship you had with a horse after hours. Is that true?
Yeah, he's banned for the same reasons he's banned from the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh my God. Are we keeping tally
Kenny,
on
the
how
bad-
many places and things?
Kenny's the
Kenny
bad
is
boy of
banned
sports
from?
gambling, huh? Who knew? What a troublemaker. Woo.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Can't get this guy in anywhere.
Before we start trouble with Kevin's totally exclusive prop bet, remind you to send in your questions. We'll get to those in a bit, as well as try and win a jersey of your choice by guessing tonight's total points in the primetime matchup. With that, Kevin, go ahead. Start some trouble. Let's hear about your totally exclusive prop bet.
One of the big headlines in the NFL this week, shocker, has the name Urban Meyer attached to it. Apparently, in addition to losing games, he's now lost the locker room, he's lost support of the players, and he likes throwing coaches very publicly under the bus. So he's also lost the support of his coaching staff as well. All signs lead to the fact that he will not be coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars again next season, which means we have an opportunity to gamble only right here on what will be his job next year. It's a totally exclusive Urban Meyer's next job prop bet. And we start with this 10-1. He will be a college bartender. That's good odds right there, guys. Take that job. He loves that college vibe. Imagine that guy juggling the bottles, little flip night, maybe fishbowl drinks. You could see him doing it better than anyone. At 20-1, he decides to be a college RA. He's just going to work right in the dorm.
Oh my God.
Make sure everyone's well behaved in the dorm. That's the guy you trust, right? He's got a clipboard, walking around, making sure you're not smoking weed in your dorm room. I like that. 40-1, he is actually going to release his own clothing line. It's not so active wear, and it's called 10. It's called 2 and 10. It's for the people that don't necessarily like being active, but like the feeling of active wear. It's 2 and 10. Very catchy name. His current record. At 10,000-1. He's head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not a great bet, but there you go. You can take that one as well. And even money bet, this is most likely what will happen. He will be replacing me right here on Pregaming. So, congratulations on the gig.
Even money on that. I'm going college RA. That is too funny. I'm picturing, hey, is everyone behaving in here?
Oh my gosh. All of those things sound like punishments to me. Either way, that's a perfect segue to our primetime punishment. Kenny, Kevin, take out that lovely wrapped, disguised punishment of yours. We've seen the
Did you get one of
table.
these, Kevin?
We've seen the
yeah.
bad costumes, the ghost pepper.
I did get the envelope as well, but I saw there was no check in there, so I threw it out. I thought I was gonna have cash. I thought it was like when you get a check from grandma around the
No
holidays, let you know she's thinking of you for $20. I don't
Says
know.
Open.
I don't know
Says
what
open to read your
the,
punishment.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah. So
What is this? What game, Kenny, did we lose that were? I mean, because I know you and I
This
were
is,
starting to remember what we.
This is from
this is the
Browns
Browns
Ravens. Browns when the Ravens covered on that last minute field goal.
Still feel good
All right.
about that bet. All right.
While they open
Christmas
these,
came early for you and I, Kevin.
yeah, while they open, we would like to also get in the comments, what do you think our next primetime punishment should be? So leave that in the comments below, and we'll do it during the week. We'll reveal what the primetime punishment will
It was
be.
vibrating. I feel it like vibrating.
Okay.
All right.
Serena, you
I'll
want to
open
count
the
them
thing.
down for an opening?
Yeah, let's count
Yeah,
it
count
down.
'em down.
All right.
Hey, hold on.
Three.
We
Did
get,
you
we
rip
get,
the
to, we,
tape
we
off
get
yet?
to witness we get to witness Kenny getting banned from a racetrack right now live, which is awesome.
All right. In 3, 2.
Hold on, wait. Did you rip this
Oh.
tape off, Kevin, or what?
Yeah, tape's off.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Great.
Ready?
Can't
Here we
wait.
go.
Do I
3,
pop this
2.
thing open? Like, how do you open this?
Pop it open. Let's see what you got.
Well, that just ruined everything.
How do you open
Did you open it,
you
Kevin?
All right, let's see. Dude, I don't know how to open this.
Come on.
Don't worry.
Yes. Yes. That is the best thing that could have possibly happened. Yes.
Oh my god.
You know what's? Do you know what's crazy?
That's never coming out.
Do you know what's crazy? Well, one, yeah, now it's all over my Louis Vuitton book bag. Thank God. It's all over my keyboard. Holy shit.
What's crazy? Kenny?
The craziest thing is I swear I had no fucking clue what was in this thing. Sorry for cursing. And I asked before the show, I was like, listen, when I open this thing, it's not going to make a mess, right? Like, I'm not going to get in trouble here. And of course, there's glitter everywhere. Oh my God.
You guessed it.
Yeah, can we see? Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, most of it's on my computer. Oh God.
Oh,
This is a disaster over here because now I will have to go explain that I didn't just go to a strip club during this show today, which is what the obvious guess will be.
you have a little twinkle in your eye, Kevin.
This is a disaster.
Yeah,
Oh
all
my
those
Well, good.
mornings you had to head out.
all over
Kevin.
the Louis Vuittons. There's glitter all over my shoes. Jesus, man.
This is great. All right. Well,
Only
That's where
only
you
Kenny
don't-
could work. Only Kenny could work in a sponsorship to his high-end merch in the middle of this punishment.
oh man. All right. Let's get to our prime time.
I feel bad for the poor soul that's got to clean this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at my place it's me, so feel bad.
Let's get to the primetime matchups. This Sunday, today, we've got Bears at Packers. Aaron Rodgers says he owns the Bears. That's an 11.5-point spread. So let's start there, and then we'll get to Monday night primetime game, which I'm pretty excited about. Rams at Cardinals. Bears, Packers. How are we feeling? Kevin, I want to start with you so you can stop thinking about how much you have to clean today.
Well, let me just say this glitter bomb that I just experienced has really ruined my Sunday. But I do feel very festive for the holidays. This is like gay dandruff. All right, let's talk about it now. What are we talking about? Bears. Listen. The Bears.
The Bears Packers. It's an 11.5-point spread. I feel like that's just a bit much, but maybe I'm leaning towards the Bears in this game just because I'm crazy and I feel like Aaron Rodgers and his foot just seems a little too cocky for me. Like, you got to really feel good about yourself going against a team to say you have ownership over it. Like, look at that,
I will
man.
say that we started the show talking about big spreads, some of them unnecessarily large. This one, it does have all the makings of a game that the Green Bay Packers win by 30 points or 3 touchdowns, something like that. Once you talk about teams you can count on nothing from, the Bears are one of those teams you can count on nothing from. The only thing, if you're going to play the narrative of emotion, is that they are so. That quote that Aaron Rodgers said the last time that he was there, "I own you." If they've been using that to try to fire up the team, I don't know if that's going to affect the lack of talent, but that's the only thing I could think of that the Bears would like no win more this season than the one that's tonight. I mean, that is the game that they would most want to win. It would be the sweetest rebuttal. T-shirt sales would be through the roof of a bear eating Aaron Rodgers' COVID toe. And so, listen, it's if there needs to be a reason why, that would be it. Sometimes you don't, the expression "don't poke the bear." That's exactly what Rodgers did. He poked the bear, and so he's got to run the risk that they poke back. All that being said, I still think Green Bay is going to win this game easily. I don't think it's going to be close. And you go ahead and predict. Hopefully, win a jersey. I said earlier my prediction was 1,000-0. That's unrealistic. I think a more realistic final for this one, I have it at, is Green Bay is 28, and the Bears will be 9, 3 field goals. That's how I have it.
Kevin, I think some of the logic you have behind the reasons the Bears could potentially cover are pretty spot on. I mean, this does feel like this is probably their Super Bowl, right? Like, division rival, you're getting 12 points. Rodgers talking all this smack, kind of want to have some pride at home here. And for games that the total is set so low, like 42.5 here, if you're going to play the spread and it's a huge spread, you typically want to take the points. So as much as you feel like the Bears are awful and the Packers should run through them, 43% of the bets are on the Bears, but 84% of the money on them. So when you see huge disparity like that, it's usually a red flag. It's not a game I'm betting, but if I did, I would take the Bears with the 12. It's too many points in a game where points may not be, might be scored in low volume. So I don't know. They could keep it semi-close and cover.
It's an uncomfortable game to bet on. Kenny, are you feeling glittery as well?
Yeah, you want to see all this glitter? I'll try and show you guys without logging out.
Oh my God!
And that's
Kevin.
not
Kevin
even,
went tribal with it. Throw it on the face.
It's all over my pants, the floor. It's all over the floor. Kevin, man, it's great. This is a tough game. The over under 42, and the spread is 12. I can't see the Bears suck. They really suck. So I would go Packers here. Aaron Rodgers absolutely owns the Bears, and I can't. Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys where when he says things, he usually comes out on the field and backs it up. So for that reason, I would take the Packers here.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I've bet against him a few times, and I've had to eat my words, and I've learned unless you don't. I learned when I took the Rams the other week. Unless you have Tom Brady on the field, you don't bet against Aaron Rodgers.
That's fair. That's fair. Also, betting with Matt Nagy is also questionable. Let's get to the Monday Night Football game then quickly. Rams-Cardinals, how are we feeling about that game? Danny, you're the only one that doesn't have glitter on besides me, so why don't you start?
This is a tight game. This is hard. Obviously huge NFC West division implications on the line. Cardinals got the best of them earlier in the season. Rams finally got back on track. They had that big blowout win against Jacksonville after a few disappointing losses in a row. So maybe their offense is back under them. They were dealing with some injuries. They're getting healthy again. So this should be both of these teams in their best form, I think. I haven't decided on a spread quite yet. I might play the over. This could be a straight-up shootout. I think both offenses are clicking right now. DeAndre Hopkins is healthy again. Maybe he gets back involved in the offense. So, I think they're going to be fireworks in this Monday night game. I'll go with the over for now.
Captain Underpants. Kevin, you have pants on today? How you feeling?
I am wearing pants today. They're covered in glitter right now, so they will soon be in the garbage. But in the stands, the last time these two teams met at SoFi earlier in the season, and it was right when the Rams were looking amazing. They were looking unstoppable. They were looking like they could run the table. And then I got to them just slowly get dismantled, play by play by play, to the point where that stadium was pretty much empty by the end of the game because, as you know, LA fans always have somewhere better to be. So it was interesting to see that happen live. To this point in the season, I don't know if the Cardinals have gotten any worse. The Rams have definitely added more weapons. I could see why Sean McVay wants sweet revenge, but there's been a few games this year that I think we've had to take. McVay has studied them. He's not going to lose to them again, and he's lost to teams again. He's lost to teams coming off of buys, which he doesn't normally do. So I don't see that the Rams, even with the added weaponry, are in a much better spot than they were. And keep in mind when they when they got beaten soundly by Arizona earlier this season, they were going to that game home favorites. Arizona, I believe, were dogs coming into LA, and now you've got the Cardinals favorites at home. Could the Rams reverse exactly what happened in Los Angeles earlier this season? I don't see it happening. I think I'm all over the Cardinals on this one. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for the Rams, but I like the Cardinals.
Oh man. I wish this was our prime. Maybe we picked this as the primetime punishment. Danny, you might maybe think about it. I've got a good reason why I think the Rams will get this game or at least cover the 2.5. Kenny, your thoughts, but I'll just start while I'm here. Kevin, to your point, last time they played was in week 4. And yes, the Cardinals had a huge win over the Rams, but the Rams were 3-0. They were feeling really good after that win over the Buccaneers the week prior. I think they were feeling themselves way too much. They've never really lost to the Cardinals under McVay. The Cardinals pass rush pressured Matthew Stafford a ton in that game. But who were they led by? J.J. Watt. Guess who's not playing right now? J.J. Watt. And you know who's playing really well? Cooper Kupp. So while he had a pretty quiet game and it was more of a Van Jefferson game, look, the Rams are still able to put up 20 points against the Cardinals. And I feel after Kyler Murray has been injured, he's had significant drop-off when it comes to carries per game. If he's not a mobile quarterback the way that we see him play when this team is succeeding, I feel like this shifts. And also, the Rams, in their turbulence of a season, why would you have them at 2.5 points under a Cardinals team who's just winning games outright? I feel like that's also telling that this Rams team might get a win against the Cardinals. Kenny, help me out here. Or go against me completely.
No. I agree with you. Yeah, I kind of like the Rams in this spot too.
Boom. Danny, do you have any thoughts? Ride solo.
So far, I guess, is everyone on the Rams? Is it? Are we deciding right here and right now the primetime
well,
sides
it's either that
on?
or it's this game or Matt Nagy against Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's not
that
yet.
Just seems uncomfortable to me.
Let's do the Monday night game. I guess if everyone's on the Rams, then I got to ride Cardinals. I kind of, you guys make some good points about the Rams.
Kevin's Cardinals.
Oh, then I'm riding with Kevin. Let's do it.
Go with the guy.
Okay.
Go with the guy covered in glitter. It's good luck glitter, man. This is a.
It worked for me last
perfect.
time. It worked for me last time.
Danny and Kevin are gonna ride with the Cardinals, and me and Kenny will ride with the Rams. Please leave your comments below on what punishment you think we should do. Be gentle, be nice, but not too nice. Either way, let's get to our rapid fire questions quickly. As always, we'll get to those at the end of our show. Does bad weather always equal an under, Captain Underpants?
This is a great question. The answer is no. It's the type of weather that can really impact an under. And the key in terms of weather and game totals is, especially if you're looking at the under, is wind. Wind is the biggest factor. We've seen in really big snow games, teams be able to run the ball around the field, play this backyard football style. I've seen games go way over covered in snow that I thought would surely go under. It's the wind that impacts the passing and the kicking and the entire game script. So look for big wind gusts like we saw in that Patriots-Bills game, right? The total was set at 40.5, and it went way under for two really good teams. So, that's the key in terms of weather and betting unders.
Dak over 3 touchdowns versus Washington football team. Do we like it? Do we love it? Do we hate it? Kevin?
Well, look, I saw, once again, historically, he does very well against Washington, puts up a ton of points, 7-1 as a starter against the team formerly known as the Skins, now, of course, the Washington football team. I saw some interesting bets that people said that they like him to run one in today as well, that he's actually done well on the ground, Washington too, historically. So it's tough. I told you I think that the money, I'm putting my bet on Washington to cover and win this game at home as an almost touchdown dog. It doesn't mean I don't think that he'll still get his. Washington's secondary, not great, bottom 5. I could see, I think he'll throw 3 touchdowns today. I don't think that's a reach at all. I could see that.
All right. Let's see. Next question. Brady right now to be the Super Bowl MVP. Perfect for Kenny. What are you thinking?
I like it, but I think you can get, I think him to win the MVP for the regular season is like plus 350, plus 400 right now. So it's not as much value, but I think it's a much safer bet. So I like him to win the regular season MVP more than that. But I don't hate that bet because I think the Bucs have a very good chance to repeat this year. And if they do, Brady will most likely win the MVP.
Well, everyone's saying it's setting up beautifully and poetically, almost fixed, Kenny, for a Bill Belichick Brady Super Bowl this year. That you don't think that's going to happen?
Nah, I personally I don't. I'm a Patriots fan.
You want to take a side bet? You want to go more Crow coin on the side? You want to go Crow on the side?
Crow on the side? Crow on the side?
Yeah, I just think I think the Patriots are a little too early. I think when it comes to the playoffs, I think the Chiefs, the Ravens just lost another cornerback, so that kind of hurts their chances. But I think the Chiefs have a very good chance to get back there this year.
Man.
We can see the cleaning crew behind Kenny getting assembled for after the show to clean up 47,000 million glitter flakes.
Yeah, they're not happy. I'll tell you that. They're giving me like death stares. I'm pretty nervous right now.
By the way, please
go to the window and put in a really big bet, and no one will care what you do, right? Then you'll just be untouchable.
There you go. Done.
Good idea.
Make sure, by the way, as you send your questions in for our rapid fire, if you want to win an NFL jersey of your choice, guess the final score for tonight's Bears-Packers game for Sunday Night Football. You have to like and subscribe our show, our channel on YouTube, and then comment your guess below, as well as send in your questions. And also, what do you think our next primetime punishment should be? So I'm asking for a lot from you guys, but we're here to make sure that you get some money. So it's a nice exchange. Either way, next question, best football food. Oh, man, fighting with the roommate. That's tough. Best football food? Got to be like a finger food, right? Like something where you have a beer in one hand and you can eat something in the other hand? What are we thinking?
I always love that buffalo chicken dip. You know, everyone makes like the same dip. It's like a buffalo chicken with cream cheese and stuff. And you take the Tostitos tortilla chips out, you dunk it in, get a big scoop. Doesn't get better than that on a football Sunday.
Wow.
Kenny, you want to pick a food that if you throw it at the TV, it won't make a big mess, right? Like you got to get a food that if you throw, it's not going to damage anything, because that's happened sometimes. You get all excited. You want one of those like Renaissance fair turkey legs while you're watching football to feel like a man, but you could smash the TV with that. I think you got to go with something that it doesn't throw so well.
Yeah, I was going to say wings. For football, I'm just crushing wings, but that's going to hurt. You pelt someone with a chicken wing, you could sleep them with that.
Yeah.
The problem with wings too
is a good football food
on your fingers, and then you got to go wash your hands. You can miss a big play with wings, so you got to be careful going buffalo wings.
That sounded like a commercial. You could have like a Bounty commercial. Like you could miss a big play. Like have Bounty. Come on,
but
where's this
Bounty? If you're watching,
games have stoppage. Like, I mean, it's not like the NBA or like the NFL. Like, they stop a ton, so maybe wings are good. I like tequila as my favorite football food.
Of course, Kenny's anti-wings because he's not allowed in a Buffalo Wild Wings anymore. So.
Next question.
Since when did I get banned from Buffalo Wild Wings?
Just playing the odds.
Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings. I love the Ravens money line just because they lost to the sorry ass Steelers last game. Thoughts?
Word.
Love the honesty in these questions.
Word up.
I like the Ravens too, but this one scares me a little. See, it's never, like I tell you guys every week, it's never good when the masses are on the underdogs.
Yep. That's always a good fade spot. That's why I faded the Vikings when they played the 49ers. I've been riding the Ravens a few weeks in a row, and they were cashing for me, but in really ugly ways. It's just the scary part about them is there's a defensive strategy against Lamar Jackson right now. And since the Dolphins did it on that primetime Thursday night game, was it, where they just send this zero blitz at him, he seems super confused, and he can't seem to get quick throws off or escape the pressure of 9 guys running at him. So the Ravens have to figure something out because the Browns threw it at them the next week. The Steelers threw it at them, and it's kind of puzzling their offense that's stuck in neutral. So that's what we need to see from the Ravens. They have to figure out how to deal with the zero blitz. And when they can, Lamar should have 80-yard plays, no problem. But hopefully that happens in this game. I'm rooting for him.
Lamar Jackson leads all quarterbacks with 762 rushing yards, and he's also 9th overall, which is 3 yards behind Zeke Elliott for rushing. So if you're going to stop the run, you stop Lamar Jackson. Next question. Bengals tragedy play with the tornado. Is that something that we should be looking into?
Oh, damn. Tragedy play. That's like so dark. This is the world of sports.
It is. I was like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that.
My signature lock as a handicapper. The tragedy play. Like
tragedy. Bet on them.
How many packages you selling to the tragedy play, Brasco? Right? People hop in.
Tragedy play, 5-star bet, tragedy play, lock of the year. It's awful.
I don't hate the Bengals. I say it every week. If you can fade the 49ers as a favorite, it's definitely a good spot to do it because Kyle Shanahan, terrible against the spread record for his career when he's coaching as a favorite. So I like the Bengals at home.
All right.
Also, when you use the term tragedy play, you're just really referring to the Jaguars every week. I mean, let's be honest, right? That's the real tragedy. Tragedy play.
I thought for
Not
sure
getting
there was
better.
a dark sex joke coming from Kevin, but it was
Of course
avoided.
not. Even I have standards, my friend. Even by the way, look, this is what I've got. This is my tragedy play. Here we go.
Tragedy play. Kevin's into tragedy play. That's when you.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, it's a tragedy play that we have to end this segment. Appreciate Kenny and Danny for joining us once again. Kevin, again, this is Pregaming. We're here at 11 a.m. Eastern every Sunday before your Sunday slate of games. If you want to win an NFL jersey of your choice, guess the final score for the Bears-Packers on Sunday Night Football. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave your comment in below, and hopefully you win. And that's how we do it here, Glitter people.
I will be purchasing a vacuum with my winnings today, so I hope that you have something that you're hoping to get as well. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us. We greatly appreciate it. And, of course, for all things going on here, follow the Game Day NFL, of course. And, Serena, enjoy your Sunday football, your tequila. And remember, you can also – hold on, let me just see here.
Yeah.
I want to say, Serena, that I respect you as a person, and I'm sorry for everything I've done.
You can always trust a man who's reading a book with glitter all over his face. Enjoy your Sunday, people. Cheers.